hold on a second. Let's check out this cruise control. So what I'm doing here is acting like I'm talking with my hands, even though I'm not really doing anything, just because I got the cruise control. I wouldn't recommend this because if you hit a pothole, you could get some gnarly head shake and you could crash. But for the sake of you guys, I'm putting my life on the line. We're doing cruise control at about 68 miles per hour. This thing's dope, man. Look, no hands. Super cool. Anyway, so back to your question. That's one reason. Oil leaking, even if it's a small leak, I don't mess with it. I don't like to tear into the bikes. I like to have nice, clean bikes. Other reasons, I pass on bikes sometimes if I just don't have a good feeling about the overall situation. And you can't really put your finger on it, but something just doesn't feel right. And another thing is going to be just weird noises in the engine. And sometimes I get in my own head about this because every bike has different, noises that the engine makes. But on occasion, you've just got this weird noise, and I'm not a mechanic. I don't really know, all the diagnostic methods for this kind of thing. But sometimes there's just these weird, knocks or clinks or clunks, and I'll pass up on things like that. And I've had the same thing. I've gone out, looked at a bike, I pass up on it because then something just doesn't seem quite right, and then somebody else I'll see buys and flips it. So oil leaks, big or small, if it's just not as advertised, when the bike is not as advertised, that's just one of the most frustrating things, and I won't even mess with it. That's another big one. When the bike's just spent pretty much its whole life outside, exposed to the elements. I don't think you can get away with that anywhere, especially back east. But in Arizona, you can tell, super dusty, all the rubber is dry rot, the tires are dry rot. There's too much that goes into it. Even if you can sell it cheap and make money on it, it's just not worth it to me. So Super Fury Man, sorry, it wasn't real concise. I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but those are some of the main ones, some of the most common reasons why I don't end up buying the bikes. Yeah, that was all over the place. Yeah, I should have come up with a better system for doing this. All right, let's see what the next question is. Brandon Browning, my sponsor for this video. No, you sold my Groms. Frowny phrase, LOL. But my question is, do you ever change oil on bikes when you get them, or just ride them and sell them as is? Great question, Brandon. So personally, if at all possible, I try to avoid changing the oils on oil on the bikes that I buy. And the reason why is because I buy a lot of bikes. It'd be very time consuming. I'm very selective on the bikes I buy. Many of them come with receipts showing that maintenance was recently done, but that's not always the case. But basically what I do is I'm transparent with the people from the get-go. I tell them I buy and sell, and I tell them I always assume it needs oil and filter unless I have documentation showing that it was done recently. And people are cool with that. Most people know, like you and I, you got a lot of sketchy people out there anyway. They're going to say, oh yeah, I just did the oil and filter, and you check it and it's clearly been sitting there for a long time. So most people, when they buy a used bike, that's just one of the first things they're going to do anyway. So for the bikes I keep, yes, I'll do oil filter, all that good stuff. But the bikes I'm selling, I buy them as is, I sell them as is. I'm transparent and I'm upfront with people, and I don't have any issues with it, and I price the bikes accordingly. Bam, and just like that, we're on a new Moto. The next question, bikes, boats, bivouacs. What's Jackie going to ride? What's Jackie? Oh, that's because I sold the Grom. That was my backup Grom. Jackie will still mob around on. Jackie will still likely mob around on this Grom. And there's another channel to check out, you guys, if you're into like trailers, bikes, boats, all that kind of stuff. Scott over there with bikes, boats, bivouacs. He does reviews and how-tos and shows you all kinds of cool stuff. He's got a great how to strap a bike down on a trailer and great trailer setups as well. So jump over to that channel. Scott, shout out from the West Coast. All right, next question is MTMDM, I think it is. I'm doing this by memory right now. Also, another dope YouTuber from up in Canada. He has a DRZ. One of his videos popped up on my feed of the DRZ that he bought. So I checked it out, and I highly recommend jump over there, check out his video. Super, super hilarious. Shout out up in Canada. And oh, dang it, what was your question? Hold on a second. Yeah, clearly my system I had set up for this is not working too well. MTM, DM, do the cops, excuse me, do the cops ever hassle you? MTM, DM, wondering if the cops ever hassle me. Dude, why would the cops ever hassle me, man? No, truth be told though, although I do come off as quite the delinquent at times, fortunately I've never had any major run-ins with the 5.0. And for the most part I try to keep it low-key, back roads. I try not to mess around on major streets. I'm always scouting out for the 5.0. As a youngin', I got pulled over all the time by cops. I think I just looked like a complete punk, and they always thought I was stoned on drugs and all that kind of thing. But 9 times out of 10, I got away scot-free because I was courteous, you know, polite, and after talking to me, they realized I was just a stupid, naive, dumb little kid, and they let me off. All right, what was the next question? I already forgot. Hold on a second. What do your neighbors think of all the bike noise? Bellathor, shout out Bellathor. I appreciate you. You leave quite a few comments. I appreciate it. Appreciate the participation. And all I can say is, bike noise? What bike noise are you talking about? Just kidding. So a lot of videos you see, I'm out on the in the front yard. So you would probably think I'm always out mobbing around in the front yard, but that's only because that's like the only time I can get somebody else to film me. But the majority of my riding's actually done outside of the cul-de-sac, so what you guys see is like the 10%. Fortunately, my neighbors are all pretty cool, and I haven't really had any run-ins with them because I try to build good rapport with them, and I help them out, and I, you know, lend a hand when I can. So they're all pretty cool, and I tell them, like, hey, if I'm making too much noise, don't hesitate to, you know, yell and give me a holler. But yeah, I typically try to do my shenanigans out and about, like out here. Man, this thing is such a blast. But yeah, great question. And I'm fortunate, I have really cool neighbors. Brett Benson, another one of the OGs. Shout out Brett Benson. I suggest you buy a VMAX. Excuse me. Dude, I want to get one. I just have not found a good one yet. But I think I'd have a blast on a VMAX. I'd love to try wheelie on one. Probably kill myself. What other bikes are you actively looking to purchase and why? Great question. So what bikes am I actively looking to buy? So it's kind of a mixture. Sometimes when I'll like get the itch to try out something specific, then I'll look to buy that specific type of bike while still trying to find a good deal on it, right? So that would be like the FCO7, for example. I've been wanting to pick that up for a while, and I finally found a good deal on one, so I picked it up. So sometimes if there's a bike that piques my interest, I'll look, and once I find a good deal, I'll snag it. Other times I'm looking for bikes where I think I can make a good, you know, decent profit if I turn around and sell them. And I primarily stick to the cruiser bikes. It's hard to find sport bikes that haven't been totally thrashed and beat up, but I will find a sport bike if I find a good deal. Or I mean, I will buy a sport bike if I find a good deal on one. Other bikes, lots of cruisers, you know, metric and standard cruisers. Really just if it's a good deal and it's something I think I could turn a profit on. I'm not partial to motos. I'm down for just about anything. Down for just about anything. I don't do a lot of dirt bikes. I just don't know the market real well and haven't really tapped into that market yet. But I started with cruisers, then I kind of went into the sport bike realm, and that started because I wanted a sport bike for myself. And then I haven't really dipped into like your adventure sport touring bikes a whole lot either. But if I find a good deal on something, you know, I'm down to check it out and possibly buy it. Oh, and that's the other thing. The bikes I buy, I avoid projects. I buy bikes that are in good condition that, you know, people either don't market them well or they're just looking to unload them and they've already got them priced competitively. Those are typically the type of bikes that I'll pick up. All right, what's my next question? And I'm sorry, you guys, I'm kind of scatterbrained, so I'm probably not really answering these questions all that well, but this is on the fly. This isn't like scripted or anything. What age did you start riding motorcycles? Colby Beck. Great question. I was 18 when I bought my first motorcycle. 18. And then Bellathor again. Have you ever thought about reviewing gear? And I haven't. Most of the gear I have is just second-hand stuff I picked up with bikes. I haven't gone out and purchased my own legit gear. And for you new riders out there, I recommend that would be like the first thing you do before you start messing around on the bike is go get some legit gear. And so I don't feel like I can review the gear just because I don't come across as much gear like I do motorcycles. And even motos, I almost don't feel qualified to review motorcycles. It's more just my personal thoughts and opinions, my insights on the bikes, just because I've ridden a lot of different ones. But you know, I'm by no means a mechanic or an expert on the topic. I more than anything just have a blast mobbing around on them. But yeah, great question. So maybe at some point I will. All right, I think we hit all the main questions. Thanks to everybody for doing the Q&A. Hopefully you enjoyed this and it was somewhat entertaining and not just super boring and cringy to sit through. Jackie left a few questions, and I think one of them was, what's your craziest story? One of my craziest stories wasn't a bike that I bought. It was a bike I was selling. It was a Yamaha Roadstar Warrior in 2003. This was the first bike that I bought with the intent to turn around and sell it and make money. So long story short, I meet up with a kid who's interested in buying it, and we're in a parking lot, and I just had a feeling. I had a feeling. I was like, dude, something just seemed off with the kid. I said, he wanted to take it for a test ride. I said, all right, let me. So the dude gives me the cash, and he gets on the Yamaha Roadstar Warrior, and he assures me that he knows how to ride and he's done it before and blah, blah, blah. And he was probably around my age at the time, you know, early 20s. I'm still in my early 20s. Or am I? And anyway, he gets on the bike, and I kid you not, clutch in, full throttle, dumps the clutch, bam! Freaking bike takes off. His feet are flying off the back. Luckily, he pulls the clutch in and hits the brake just in time to run into his own truck. I kid you not, the dude runs into his own truck, basically clips the fender, the front fender, on his foot peg. So the foot peg goes right through the plastic front fender. And the crazy thing is, his car was parked here and my car was parked here, and he went like right through him, and luckily he hit his truck and not my car. But yeah, that was crazy. I was just like, dude, what in the heck? Long story short, the dude bought the bike, and I gave him a helmet because I was like, man, you are gonna kill yourself on this thing, like guaranteed, you'll kill yourself. I think my family is here at the park, so we're gonna go check out the park and see what they're doing. Another couple, not crazy but funny, the ultimate millennium, like the typical millennial dude, not millennial. This kid shows up, he's smoking his vape, and he's looking at a sport bike, go figure. Shows up solo, just goes to show how serious he is. You know, he doesn't have ramps, he doesn't have a truck, he's just showing up solo. And he's got a gun in his back pocket. And that was funny. Whoa, I forgot the suspension on this is horrible. So yeah, that was crazy. Dude shows up with a gun. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Really? Really, bro? Alright, hop on, buddy, hop on. Alright. I'll take you for a ride next. Whoa. Alright, you guys, that's gonna do it for this Q&A on John's Moto Garage. As always, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate the support. Alright, you guys, John's Moto Garage will hit you up on the next one. Hasta luego. And leave a thumbs up if you dig the Q&A, and let me know below, do you want to do another QA? It'll be a ways off, but if you dig the Q&A, we'll do another one at some point. Alright, you guys, John's Moto Garage will hit you up next time. Nos vemos.